Collapse doesn't begin with fire or screaming. It begins with movement. Frantic, stupid, blind movement. People don't think when the world snaps. They scatter like kicked insects. The first mistake most of them make is choosing speed over strategy. They flee toward population centers, highways, shelters, malls, churches, stadiums. They think crowds are safety. Crowds are combustion. Put enough panic in one place and it behaves like fuel. You see it immediately. Cars jamming intersections, people grabbing bags they never packed right, chasing rumors of designated safe zones. Every collapse has a chorus, and it's the sound of thousands of shoes slapping pavement in the same fatal direction. Panic creates gravity, and humans follow it like debris circling a drain. This is where survival begins, by refusing to move with them. Every rush toward the obvious location creates a vacuum behind it. Empty neighborhoods, quiet side streets, unused blind spots. But they don't see the value in emptiness. Their instincts are calibrated for comfort, not survival. The first hours decide the map. Not the map you print, but the map that lives in your pulse. Danger arteries, safe pockets, pressure points where crowds will burst. You don't run toward anything. You drift sideways, like a shadow moving across a dying stage. The safe places are never the ones with signs, fences, or officials waving people inward. The safe places are the ones nobody considers. You listen, watch the flow, track the migration. Humans always reveal their weaknesses early. Fear of darkness, fear of isolation, fear of silence. All three are assets. The civilization they depended on is disintegrating behind them, but they don't understand that hiding isn't about walls or locks. It's about geometry, putting yourself where eyes don't naturally look. The collapse hasn't killed anyone yet, but the choices made in the first hour already have blood on them. By the second day, panic has matured. It acquired shape, direction, pattern, and those patterns are predictable enough to bet your life on. Humans rush to places they believe will save them, and those places betray them with mathematical consistency. Supermarkets, gas stations, pharmacies, government buildings, schools, stadiums. Every one of them is a convergence point, a place where desperate people collide at the same moment with the same need, and that's how chaos self-assembles. One argument, one shove, one gun, one rumor. That's all it takes for the crowd to ignite. The physics is simple. The more people surround your hiding place, the more variables threaten it. Every newcomer brings hunger, fear, noise, and conflict. A safe zone is only safe until the ninth person arrives. After that, it becomes a powder keg with no lid. Most people also choose high ground without understanding line of sight. They run to rooftops, hilltops, open fields. They think altitude equals safety. Altitude equals visibility. And visibility equals death. The last thing you want is to silhouette yourself against a sky that screams your presence like a neon sign. Then there's the bunker fantasy, the belief that going underground is the answer. It works only if you have years of supplies, filtration, and discipline. Everyone else just seals themselves into a slow, suffocating grave. You avoid all of it. Not because you're smarter, because you're quieter. You move like drifting smoke, not a stampede. The trick isn't finding the perfect hiding place. The trick is understanding why the obvious ones are fatal. People gather where hope is advertised. You gather where hope is abandoned. Because the safest places are always the ones nobody wants. Let the crowd sprint toward the bright places. The dark ones are waiting for you, empty and patient. Darkness has never betrayed a careful survivor. Safety in a collapse isn't a location. It's a psychological blind spot, a place people instinctively ignore because it feels uncomfortable, unfamiliar, or meaningless. That's where survival lives. Industrial zones, construction sites, vacant lots behind half-built buildings, old drainage culverts, abandoned maintenance stations, storage yards, utility easements. These are the places people avoid even during normal life. Too quiet, too ugly, too empty. And in collapse, the instinct to avoid them becomes stronger. No food, no light, no crowds, no comfort. Perfect. You slip into these dead spaces like a shadow committing a crime. The silence works in your favor. Sound dies quickly in wide open industrial voids. Movement blends with broken geometry. You can sit 10 meters from a panicked crowd and remain invisible because their instincts won't let them scan the places they fear or don't understand. Graffiti-covered service tunnels become temporary shelters. The fenced-off area behind an abandoned warehouse becomes a thermal blind spot. That drainage channel everyone avoids because it smells weird becomes a perfect observation trench. Collapse survival is about embracing what civilized people reject. Humans want comfort. They search for it like moths circling dead bulbs. You want obscurity. The corners so uninviting that nobody else will choose them. This isn't hiding. This is subtraction. Remove yourself from the mental map of desperate people and you cease to exist in their threat calculations. On day 3, you stop thinking like a civilian. You start thinking like an organism that thrives in negative space, the void between danger and distraction. The places that feel wrong are the places that keep you alive, because predators and prey both avoid them. And that leaves the territory to you. You can choose the perfect spot and still die because you don't understand the physics of presence. A hiding place is only as safe as your behavior inside it. Noise is a knife, and every careless sound cuts a piece off your lifespan. Cold air carries sound farther. Empty streets amplify it. Broken concrete refracts it. Even breathing wrong can betray you. The collapse turns your body into a liability. Every movement becomes a broadcast. You minimize your surface area to possibility. That means no pacing, no shifting, no fidgeting, no rummaging through bags like a child looking for candy. Stillness is survival. The less you move, the less you become real to the world hunting outside. Shadow is your second ally. Not darkness. Shadow. Darkness is an absence of light. Shadow is an interruption of it. Shadows distort outlines, hide depth, confuse attackers. Sit where edges overlap, where angles break, where light dies in layers. Predators scan for clean shapes. You must not be one. Silence is your third. Silence isn't the absence of noise. It's the absence of patterns. A single random sound won't give you away. A sequence will, so you break rhythm. You scratch only once. Adjust clothing only when the wind masks it. Drink only when another noise covers the swallow. People outside grow louder, angrier, more fragile. Collapse burns through their mental reserves fast. On day 4, they become creatures of impulse, scanning, knocking, testing, shouting. Their noise is camouflage for you, but only if you don't add to it. Your hiding place survives because your presence inside it becomes theoretical, a rumor, a possibility, a ghost with no proof. Silence, shadow, stillness. This is your new religion. Break any of the 3, and the world outside will punish you without hesitation. A mistake people make is thinking a hiding place stays safe. Nothing stays safe. Not in a failing civilization. Danger migrates. Patterns shift. Resources dry up. Desperation learns. On day 5, the predators start mapping. Not consciously, instinctively. They return to promising areas. They test more doors. They search for anything out of place. The industrial yard you used yesterday? Someone else may wander in today. The drainage culvert might flood. The empty house with broken windows? Now on someone's radar due to footprints, smell, or curiosity. Hiding is a fluid discipline. You rotate your shelters the way old sailors watch tides. You stay ahead of other people's patterns. Move not far, just far enough. 50 meters can mean the difference between forgotten and found. Some locations become death traps simply because they remain too static. Underground tunnels accumulate stale air and desperate bodies. Rooftops gather opportunists looking for vantage points. Forest edges attract the hungry who think they'll live off the land until they realize they can't tell poison apart from dinner. You read the world with predator logic. Where would I search if I were starving? Where would I avoid if I were afraid? Where would I return if I had hope? Avoid all 3. Your goal isn't to find a permanent haven. Permanent havens attract people. Temporary shadows repel them. You move without leaving narrative. No footprints in soft dirt. No trash left behind. No smell stronger than dust. You erase yourself as you go, leaving nothing that tells a story. Because once a hiding place becomes predictable, it becomes a tomb. And you refuse to die in a place that remembers you. By day 6 and 7, the world outside has stopped pretending. Civilization isn't struggling. It's gone. The machines are dead, the structure's hollow, the social rules burn down to instinct and opportunity. And in that vacuum, you finally understand the truth. You're not hiding from people. You're hiding from their hunger, their fear, their collapsing judgment, their short-circuited reasoning. Humans in crisis don't act like humans. They act like storms, directionless, destructive, and uninterested in apology. You survive because you learn not to resist the storm, but to move under it. Not to fight visibility, but to remove yourself from the visual language of attention. The world sees what it expects. You made yourself into something it doesn't. Your hiding spots shift like weather. Industrial voids, abandoned corners, broken alleys, shadows under steel structures. The forgotten geometry of human construction. You inhabit negative space. Places designed for function, not comfort, and therefore ignored by the desperate. No heroism, no fortresses, no cinematic bunker fantasies. Just cold physics and colder discipline. By the end of the first week, you're still breathing. Not because you found the perfect hiding place, but because you embraced a brutal truth. Safety doesn't come from a location. It comes from becoming uninteresting. The predators of collapse can't hurt what they cannot notice, cannot predict, cannot map. You survived the week because you refused to stand out. And if tomorrow demands the same silence, the same shadows, the same inhuman patience, then so be it. Survival isn't loud. It's invisible.